These are the 10 hidden faceless niches that quietly print $10,000 while you sleep. So let's jump right in. This is our first niche. It's from a channel called Technology Future. They've done over 25 videos, and what they're doing, they're mostly showing various innovations that are coming from Asia, but most importantly, actually, they've niched down to innovations that are coming from China. They have 14,000 subscribers, they have 25 videos, and they've done 3.3 million views, which is quite insane given the small number of videos that they have done. When you look at the thumbnails, they are quite intriguing, mostly for people who love tech and people who want to know about various innovations that are coming out. People would love to watch these kinds of videos, but the way they have brought out the elements that are in the thumbnails is quite intriguing. The elements are quite big, and when you compare them to these first two videos where the people are looking towards uh, this tunnel, where they are looking towards this reddish aircraft. I mean, it's quite intriguing, something that you can click to. So the thumbnails are quite clickbaity, but also what I've noticed is that they have zeroed down to using China in their titles, which is quite interesting because people would love to know about the innovations that are coming out of China. And they're doing quite well. The channel is blowing up. They have 3.3 million views. So if you're going into such a niche, you would want a video editor who's going to do research about what is really happening, and then they're going to bring you footage and edit the video in a way that is quite interesting and appealing to the people. Also, you'd want to do videos that are quite longer than 10 minutes, because what they are editing is just an average of 10 minutes. You want to do videos that are longer. You can emulate the style of the thumbnails, because I believe it's working. The way they are writing the titles, it's also intriguing, but I believe you can do even much more better when you decide to go into this niche. So let's go into this one. This one is also quite interesting, comic stats. When you look at what they're doing statistics mostly about various characters from Marvel to DC, characters that are very well known by people. And they've done 59 videos. They're having 3 million views. It is quite interesting. I want you to look at the consistency of how they have laid out the characters in various roles on their thumbnails. It's quite interesting. But also the words they use, the words relate with the people who have watched these movies. I believe these are videos that you can do. They're quite simple because they're using the same format of layovers and voiceovers. You can do quite better because the videos are quite short. So imagine if you were to do videos that are even much more longer than these. You can perform quite much more better than this channel. So the other channel that we are looking at, it's called Key. They have 93 videos. The videos are mostly about philosophy and psychology, and the aim of the videos, it is to help other people become better and overcome their hardships. They have 158,000 subscribers, and they have 93 videos with 11 million views. 11 million views on 93 videos. It's quite intriguing. I want you to see the consistent patterns that you get to see when you see these videos. The thumbnails are done well. The character is always on the right hand side, and the text is on the left hand side, but the text is quite visible. It's a white text, given that they're using it over various backgrounds of different colors: black background, reddish, bluish. It's working out quite well. But even the characters, the way they have decided to characterize themselves, it's quite unique and interesting. But even the narrations, the voiceovers, they are quite good. When you're niching, you're going into such niches, you want your voiceovers to be good, because let me tell you one thing. One of the things that keeps people watching videos for quite a longer time, it is actually how good the voiceover is. So when you want to go into such a niche, you want to first of all listen to what they are doing, how good are their voiceovers, how can you emulate them. But I believe they're doing quite well, and this is a channel that can get over 20 $30,000, even $30,000, given the brand deals that come in compared to what you're doing and how much people would love to pay you for getting their brands seen into your channel, which is quite interesting. So this one also on the list, it is these are sleep related motivation videos, but mostly of Asian teachings from Buddhists. It's really good. The channel is called Sleep Monk. They've done over 79 videos and they have 1.6 million views. I believe this channel is doing more than $40,000. Why do I believe that? Because the videos are quite lengthy. They are over 3 hours, and that is quite a lengthy amount of time when people are watching these videos. But also the way they have done the voiceovers are sleep related. The soundtracks, everything is quite related to sleep, but even the stories are quite capturing, so people can listen on. They can listen on for a very long time, and they can watch for a very long time, which gets the revenue per meal very high. And given that this channel is just picking up and is doing quite well with an average over 10,000 views per video, I believe they're making a huge lump sum of money when it comes to these videos. Let's jump right into this one. This one is called Silent Screams. What they're doing bizarre, they're doing stories about bizarre stories that happened when people went out. But I want you to look at the consistency when it comes to the thumbnails. When you look at the thumbnails, they have this white text that has a layover of a reddish background, but also another white text that is below it, which is just plain. But also the characters, the way they've put out the characters are quite real, which relates with people who want to see real stories and they want to go into encounters that are real. But also what I've seen in terms of the consistency when it comes to the patterns of the titles, they are always using this word disturbing, and they are starting with the number 5 disturbing forest encounters, 5 disturbing forest encounters, which is quite monotonous and really used. So mostly they're doing about bizarre stories that happened in the forest. You can always emulate this. You can do bizarre stories that happened when people went out to camping, but mostly you want to emulate the title, the words that are intriguing. The word disturbing, you'd want to emulate it. The word encounters, it is something that you can emulate. I believe you can do a style that is quite similar to this, and just tweak a little bit of your videos and you can be able to do videos in this niche that are quite doing well. When you look at what they have done 26 videos and they have over 1 million views, which is doing quite well. I believe this channel is going to continue to grow even much more because they're doing videos that are telling stories that are loved by people. Let's proceed. I want you to look at this one. It's called Pele Explains, 15 videos. And when you look at the amount of views that they have 6.9 million views, which is quite interesting. And what I loved about them is like their videos are very simple. Even when you click on their videos to watch them, they're very simple explanatory videos, but they have this unique character. They have created a character that is quite unique to themselves. When you want to go into such niches, you want to get a cartoon character that is quite unique to your channel. The uniqueness allows you to venture mostly into stories with uniqueness, but also you want to have that uniqueness because you anticipate to capture the minds of people who are going to follow your channel. They have to be able to identify you by your uniqueness, but also when it comes to other brand deals that might come in for your channel, you want that uniqueness to play out. So when you look at this channel, they are doing quite a good job when it comes to the uniqueness, but also the way they are putting out these videos. The videos are geared to explain and help people to become better. Like this video that was done 7 days ago, it said how to survive every disasters, how to survive these deadly situations. People always want to escape bad things, bad situations. So when you do videos that are explaining things that help them to become better, to become more motivated, to to have more productivity. People would always want to learn. People are been geared with the psychology of learning. They always want to learn new things. So when you're doing such videos, you want to have a way that is going to help them even learn much more better. And I believe this channel is doing well. With such a channel, it's easy. What you want to do also, when you look at these channels, there is no consistency when it comes to the length of the videos. Here, you want to have the consistency. You want to have videos that are maybe 15 minutes longer, but videos that can tell a story quite well through the length of those 15 minutes. That is also very important. The narrations and the animations that you use, even when you've not used the animations, the way that you're narrating the uh, the script of your video has to be quite intriguing for people to watch on. And the more they watch on, the more money you will be able to make, which is quite interesting. Let's go into this one. This one is mostly called, it's mostly about arrests that happened and which have been taped on body cam. They've done quite a huge number of videos. It's 296 videos, and the channel is called Arrest Flex. When you look at the number of views that they have an insane amount of views, which is over 83 million views. I love such channels because the stories that they tell, they're quite intriguing. So people always are scared. They are scared of arrests, and this channel niched down to one of uh, the emotional effects of fear that people fear, and they're thriving quite well on this. This body cam footage can be good. This is how you venture into such a channel. You want to look at the videos that are performing quite well when you're looking at such a competitor who is going to be your specimen as you're venturing into, and you want the person who is going to do the videos for you, the voiceovers for you, to emulate these outliers, the videos that are performing well, like this video that was done 2 days ago. It is quite interesting when you look at it. Karen's plan to outsmart cops blows up in her face. It's quite interesting. Also, what you want to look at, you want to do voiceovers that are kind of story related. You know, that kind of narration that goes with how stories of crime are explained. You want voiceovers that are in that style, because people always relate with things that they know. If they have seen some kinds of crime documentaries, they would want to come here, but they would want to get the same kind of feel. So you want the videos to be explained in that kind of style, and I believe you can be able to do it. These videos can be done for you on Fiverr at a cost of around $40. So if the videos are doing quite well with such a huge, enormous amount of views, with the cost of $40 per video, I believe it is quite a worthy investment that you can do, because the channel will keep on doing very well. But also, you want to do a huge amount of videos, so that when you start to put out videos, you don't skip on days. You want to put out a video each and every day. This is quite important. YouTube loves consistency. It loves consistency. So the more consistent your channel is, the more your channel is going to be put out there, and the more it's going to be shown to various kinds of people. So you want to prepare before you post. You want to prepare before you post. You put out more videos, and this is going to help you to compete with these channels that are quite consistent. They are putting out videos on each and every day, and they are earning huge amounts of views. I believe this channel is even earning more than $50,000, given the insane amount of views that they are getting. Like this channel, this video was done 2 days ago. It has 273 views. This video was done 1 day ago. It has 101 views. It's quite interesting. So you would want to venture into something like this. When you look at this channel, it's called Alan Watsi Daily Wisdom. They have 25 videos. They have a huge amount of subscribers. And what they're doing, they're explaining mostly things about philosophy and wisdom. But what I've noticed is that they have 6 million views already with these 25 videos. The way they're doing the videos is quite interesting. The voiceovers are very, very on point. They have emulated a very deep kind of narration voice, which is quite interesting. Everyone would want to watch on with this kind of explanations. But the videos are quite simple. But also, I want you to see the consistency. I've seen that they have a consistent character that they're using with these thumbnails, but also the text is consistently placed at the top of the thumbnail with a layover or a background which is black and the text is white, which gives brightness to the text to come out very well. But also, when you look at the titles are mostly about spiritual awakening and sensitivity of the soul, to explain how people are trapped in illusions. So these are things that are happening to people, pain points that people are dealing with, and things that people want to overcome. And these are things that people would listen to, and these videos are quite simple in the way they are made, and they are performing very well. This channel is doing over $20,000. When you are venturing into such a channel, you want to do your research on topics very well. But also, one of the tricks that I identify that works quite well, when you want to emulate such a channel, you want to look at the outlier videos. What are outlier videos? These are videos that are performing quite well, much more better than other videos per any channel that you are researching in. When you are doing channel research, you want to look at the videos. Why did they perform well? How did they do the thumbnails? How did they? So you want to zero down on the style that is being used in terms of title formulation, in terms of thumbnail creation, in terms of the video creation, in terms of the script creation. You want to look at the outliers, because if the outliers are outperforming other videos on that specific channel, then that means that there is something quite interesting with those outliers. So you would want to double down on how the outliers were made, which is a trick that can get you ahead most of the people who are doing these kinds of videos. When you look at this one, it's called Your Family Line. These are stories mostly from the past. They're doing quite well. They have 23 videos, and they have done already 558,000 views, which is quite good with 8 videos. I love the fact that this channel is doing well, and I believe the channel, because it's already a monetized channel, and I believe it's going to continue to grow. What they're doing stories, they're doing stories mostly in the past centuries. The stories that they are doing are quite intriguing, but also the voiceovers that they have, they're quite good. When you look at the last video that they did, it was done 4 days ago, and the video already has 10,000 views. The one that the ones that were done actually 2 weeks ago, they have this outlier which is having 220,000 views. They have one that has over 70,000 views 2 weeks ago, which is doing quite well. But I want you to also look at the consistency. Given that the stories are from the 9th century, 13th century, stories that are very, very, very old, the way they are doing the images that are laid over the voiceovers, the images are quite old. But also, that vintage style is being emulated into the thumbnails. When you're telling these kinds of stories, you want people to relate to the stories, but we also want them to relate with the time that the stories happened. So if you're trying to emulate such a channel, what you're going to do, you want to go and use AI to create these kinds of images that are really old, but images that relate with these kinds of stories. When you are venturing into such a niche, you're going to do some research, because these stories are there, stories that happened in all those centuries, from the 9th century or even from the 5th century. There are bizarre stories that happened, mostly about families, people who disappeared, prisoners, people who were killed, people who went away from home and never came back. So these are the stories that they are doing. Quite intriguing, factual stories that happened, but they are bringing them to life in a unique way with very unique and intriguing storytelling. But they're also doing well when it comes to the thumbnails and the consistency of the thumbnails. If you love what we do and you love the videos that we put out, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe to our channel. We put out a video each day, and what we want you to maximize the chances of getting to start a faceless YouTube niche, because you are going to have access to a variety of various niches that you can venture into, niches that are already making money. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can be able to emulate the things that these channels are doing already, how they're doing well, and you can incorporate that into your playbook for your new channel, for your new Faceless channel, and you can be able to earn money. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.